Hello everyone and welcome back. We're Chesca Ben and this is Sophia, our self-converted sprinter van. We live full-time in our home on wheels and have currently picked up a little hitchhiker. Meet River. Last week we visited a beautiful waterfall cascading out the cliffside and had our first wild camp since lockdown began. So we've woken up to pretty much the same weather that we went to sleep with. Mist and rain and quite a bit of wind. Join us this week for some spooky Dartmoor folklore as we explore this ancient landscape in the southwest of England. Subscribe and join us for the ride. I think it's one of my favourites because it's actually got something very spooky and kind of unexplained that you can actually physically see.
Yeah.
Wow. Needs to go up. Okay, so do you want to explain? We spent today we're still on Dartmoor. We spent this afternoon getting some work done and we thought we would go out and find a nice little campsite for tonight. And our first option would be perfect, but it just has zero signal and we need signal, don't we, tonight?
Yeah, so we need signal for work still, unfortunately. But we're in the dark part of Dartmoor, like the deep parts, not like the most
no, we're near a place called Belvoir, which is a really popular part, and let's bring River in.
Here we go. So you said
so we're in a, sorry, you go.
Yeah, so as Chester's saying, we're in a gorgeous little place called Belvoir on Dartmoor.
Very pretty area.
Very pretty. Unfortunately it's raining again. So
yeah, it was meant to be like sunshine with a bit of cloud today, but as usual in Dartmoor there's a big rain cloud looming over and it started to spit, so I think we're going to try and find, there's a couple of other spots I know of, so we're going to head there. This spot was actually a suggestion by our friends Tanya and Adam from Jits Into the Sunset, and they sent us a Google pin for this place, and I've actually driven through here so many times but just never kind of stopped or thought to stop in this little valley, and it was such a great shout. I'm just gutted that we have no signal here and we do really need it, so
yeah.
Never mind.
Ooh.
Oh, jinx. When we first finished Sophia, Dartmoor was the first place that we took her up for our first few nights camping, and it was quite like, it took some getting used to the tiny narrow lanes of Devon and Cornwall in the van, and it's amazing now coming back after having driven her for the best part of a year now, how much more comfortable Ben is on the road. And in fact, like, I'm not even as a passenger like, oh my god, this is like we're kind of just a lot more comfortable.
Feels much more manageable now.
I've come out to a spot that I've camped up on the moors before, which is a stunning spot called Meltor Car Park, kind of looking out over the moors. But since I was here last, there's now 2 signs that say no overnight camping, no overnight vehicles. And there's 2.
Whoa. Sorry, babe.
There's a camper there and there's another one behind us, and they're clearly camping here, but it is quite you're on a main road basically, so it is quite exposed. I mean, we would normally park kind of further over that way, but just, I don't know if it's going to be worth it.
It's the sort of place where they come and check, isn't it? It's one of those sort of car parks where it's obviously been...
So you're really officially allowed to overnight camp on Dartmoor, but especially if you go down some of the smaller roads, you're not going to have the rangers going down there checking, especially if it's not really hot, warm weather in the summer holidays. But some spots like this car park in particular I think are quite popular, so maybe they would get checked. So the park up mission was a success. Fingers crossed we don't get moved on from here, because we are kind of on the main road, but we're kind of like out in what I would class as like wild Dartmoor. And
it's not like touristy Dartmoor, is it?
No, it's a really pretty spot with like a little babbling brook next to it, and it's kind of at the bottom of a valley, so we're kind of sheltered from the wind a little bit.
Here we go. Yeah. Oh, bloody hell. Ow. She's got a real thing for your feet, doesn't she?
I know.
It's really got really eerie now.
I know.
Look at that mist coming in.
You've got like the devil and his like wished hounds. You've got the hairy hands of Dartmoor. Ben and I are looking at all the different legends of Dartmoor because the weather is not
supernatural.
It's got really misty and it looks very eerie outside. So
there are loads of urban myths and legends on Dartmoor, like supernatural, like witches and all these sort of things.
Pixies, the devil and his wished hounds.
Hairy hands, that's my favourite one.
Yeah.
We'll say about that some other time. But where we're staying tonight, we're not far from the legend of Kitty J's grave.
Yes, this is one of my favourites. I think it's one of my favourites because it's actually got something very spooky and kind of unexplained that you can actually physically see.
Yeah.
The legend of Kitty J is that it was a young farm girl, like a servant, who fell in love with the farmer's son and became pregnant, and he wouldn't marry her and keep the baby. So if she was to keep the baby, she would, because it was out of wedlock, she would have ended up in a workhouse somewhere. And so unfortunately she committed suicide and hung herself in one of the barns. And because back then they couldn't bury
because people who committed suicide then weren't allowed to be buried on consecrated ground. They buried her as close to the parish, on the parish line, didn't they?
On the parish boundary.
On the parish boundary, yeah.
So as close to the edge of it as they could.
Yes,
really.
yeah.
And there is actually an unmarked grave that you can go and see today. And I'm pretty sure they dug up this grave a few years ago, and it did have the remains of a young girl in there. And so yeah, it is known, locally as Kitty J's grave. And one of the weird things about it is that there are always fresh flowers on the grave, and no one knows who puts them there. And even during the COVID lockdown, there were always fresh flowers on the grave.
Yeah. So somebody goes out there to lay, it's not just flowers grown, they lay fresh flowers on the grave, don't they?
Yeah.
And nobody's ever seen who does it.
Yeah, and there's always like little gifts and little trinkets there and stuff, but we thought maybe tomorrow, because it's not meant to be the nicest weather, maybe we'll take you out there and have a drive out, and because it's a proper piece of like local folklore and that you can actually go and see, can't you?
Yeah, we've not been there for years, have we? So it'd be nice to get back out there and have a look.
So I think it suits this kind of weather pretty well.
Morning.
Hello.
Your coffee is waiting.
Thank you. I slept. I used it pretty well last night for saying little one had to go to the toilet twice in the night. Obviously the one time we were in a creepy spot in Dartmoor. It was misty and dark. She's like, I need to go twice in the night.
It was pitch black, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was fine. And obviously just so quiet, so we did sleep really well. And woken up to, just some more rain.
More rain, and more rain. That's your arm. That's your arm. You like it?
So when we took River for her vaccinations, we asked the vet, because obviously we're not always going to have a garden for her to play in and stuff in a big house. And the vet said that she's okay, because she's not had her second vaccinations yet. She'll be okay to go on like the concrete and on like stone and stuff in the road, but just to avoid kind of like muddy areas and areas where dogs might have pooed and weed and there's livestock and stuff. So if you see us walking like on the little road bits and stuff, she should be fine on that. We're just avoiding like, obviously not going to like traipse her over the moors or anything just yet. Good girl. Seeing as it's miserable outside, we are going to make some banana bread, or I'm going to try and make some banana bread. Because we've got some bananas that are way past eating. And I'm a bit worried that they're a bit overripe even for banana bread.
They look like they've seen better days, I must admit.
But I think we've got everything for it, so we're going to give it a go. See how it turns out.
Why have you got chocolate powder on?
Oh yeah, it's chocolate banana bread. It's from one of my favourite like vegan recipe sites called Lazy Cat Kitchen. Really like nice, like simple recipes.
Why do you look like you're burning heroin?
Because I'm trying to melt the coconut oil. We've got a little bit left over, and I actually think I put too much flour in, so I've left that around the edge. Ah!
It's like a professional cake. Let's try.
Cheers.
Cheers. It's supposed to taste like that. That's really good.
Like bananas.
Mmm.
What I say,
It is
that was a success.
10 out of 10 for me, babe.
Should I say how nice it's been here?
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
We've literally had one of the nicest mornings I think we've had in a long time here. We've just like potted around this morning, not really done much. The internet did die for a little bit, so we just kind of like baked banana bread and just kind of chilled out, and it's been absolutely lovely. And it's such a gorgeous little spot with the little stream next to us. Just wish it was a little sunnier, that would have just made it even more perfect, but yeah, it's been lovely. So as promised, we're now going to head off to go and find Kitty J's grave. So as you can see, always fresh flowers and kind of offerings on the grave. There's a shoe on there, there's some foxgloves, some pansies, some coins. And yeah, it's just a very, very unique place to come and visit if you're into that kind of thing. I couldn't find Jay's grave on Google Maps, so I'm not sure if it's actually got a location, but what we did was drive to Hound Tor. So if you put Hound Tor into Google Maps, and then basically there's a turn off for the Hound Tor car park, ignore that and just keep on the road for another, what, 2 miles?
No, mile.
A mile, and then you come to the grave. So if you are wanting to come and see it, that's probably what I would recommend if you can't find Jay's grave on Google Maps. We're on our way to go meet up with a couple from Plymouth called Sarah and Lee. They first got in touch with us, God, way back when we were doing the van build last year.
A year ago.
And we just kind of like never got a chance to meet them or anything, but now they've started their own van build on their van called Vanbo, and they've got an Instagram and a YouTube account as well now, and we've just been chatting on Instagram and stuff and decided it's finally about time we met up, so we're going to go meet them today. Very excited. Is that comfy, River? That does not look comfy in the slightest.
Hello. Yeah. I'm Lee. This is Sarah. We're Vanbo Adventures. You've probably never heard of us.
Never heard of us.
You've never heard of us. Yeah.
You said goodbye in mid-October.
Or is it just going to walk straight through us? Hello. Oh, you're friendly.
So this is Rufus. Well, I've had him for about 6 months now.
Rufus.
Very, very good with people, as you can see. Oh my god, I can't believe he's just right next to us.
Yeah, it's just come over.
I feel guilty that I don't have a carrot.
Oh no, I'm holding this twig like it could be some sort of offering, and I don't think it's really what it wants.
Such a diva. You should down there.
Moving closer to you, you keep moving away.
This is Sarah, this is Lee, and this is Vambo. What van is it even? I'm not.
Vauxhall Vivaro.
Short wheelbase.
Short wheelbase. And we decided to get this one so we could try it out first. Check we like it. We knew we liked it, but because we have 2 cats, check that they're fine staying
With
overnight.
the best names ever, named after
Tommy and Arthur from
Peaky Blinders.
Blinders.
Yeah.
And they are literally true
And they
to
all
their
like the characters. Yeah.
So we've decided to give it a try in this van, check everything's all good. Still unfinished yet, which you'll see, but then hopefully buy a Sprinter like you guys.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And travel Europe.
Yeah, we're probably going to do England and the NC 500
Yes.
in this one.
awesome. Yeah.
And then, because we're on 6 foot, you're fairly tall for a girl.
5'5". You always say fairly tall. I'm thinking people are going
Yeah.
to think like,
You should see
well,
us-
how tall's fairly tall?
She used to be in the circus. So yeah, we'd love to get a high top, basically.
top.
And to be fair, probably the same reason you guys get a Sprinter,
Yeah.
we'll get a nice.
Bit more room as well.
We've even got the layout already.
Still got a bit of work to do.
Yeah.
But we're nearly there.
We've done a rough show, check everything works.
Yeah.
So, we have a full 6 foot bed that pulls out by this mechanism. You're talking again. By this, and then 2 extra cushions that go in here. This is, at the minute, our pull-out toilet. But that's going to be moved now because Sarah did make a good point of if you need to go to the toilet in the night, you're not going to be able to. That there's just a little extra storage. Yeah, Sarah made that. All bespoke. Her upholstery skills are very, very good, and it's very comfy. Our voltage 12.6. That's good to know. And our USBs. We're going to do the same tone groove that's on the walls all across the ceiling. We've got, if I spin it around, our worktops have just gone in with our little mini sink. That's not the full size copper tap. You don't fill it up like that because that won't work. See how inconvenient that is? I've got a foot pump. Watch. See how weird that is? So that's unfinished, right? That's going to be cut and have elbows put in to go into the sink. Got a big full size Dometic fridge in there.
Nice.
Nice. Which slides out underneath. And then hidden away, I don't know if you can see, in there is a little cat flap where Tommy and Arthur go in and have private time.
This is going to be for like clothes storage. So there'll be like dirty linen bag and then packing cubes full of clothes. And we'll put like a leather strap or something so we can lift it up easily. And this is just storage really, the back of the fridge.
Nice.
And that is basically it. So on the roof we've got a max air fan, and we might do a little bit of decking maybe up the top, but we'll just see.
For such a small space, I think you've done such an amazing job of like what you fit in there in such a creative way.
We've pretty much got, apart from a full stand-up shower,
You've
I
got
think we've got everything that everyone else has got.
Yeah.
But in the
in
smallest
such
bit.
including
Apart
a
from
full
like a
size.
mini like Postman Pat van.
If this is what you do on your first van with this small space, I can't wait to see what you do on like a big van. It's going to be amazing.
We're happy with, aren't we?
Okay, so Sarah and Lee are documenting the build of Vambo on their Instagram and YouTube, and you should definitely go and check them out. One, they're hilarious, and also the videos are great too. They're going to be, like they said, travelling the UK, NC 500 and further afield in the van, so you should definitely go and subscribe, and I'll put a link in the description to their channel down below. So Sarah also, is it crocheting? Crochets, and has made us some little winter hats, and I'm so excited for these. Oh, you have that on Instagram as well, don't you? Yeah. So I'll put a link to that. Her, is it Bamboo Hats?
Bamboo Hats, yeah.
Bamboo Hats, where she crochets and makes hats. There we go. It fits
Oh, that's really
perfectly.
cool.
Relieved.
Oh, that's awesome.
Bro, you really keep... Yeah,
Put it down a bit at the back.
there you go.
So it's,
Trying to get
I want your ears to be warm. Is it too small? I don't
No,
know if
that's
it's too
lovely.
small, you sure?
Yeah,
You know what? They are so soft.
it is, yeah.
Actually, the blue works with your eyes.
Yeah.
It does, yeah. What was it you won at school?
Best blue eyes in school.
Did you?
Yeah.
Is that a thing? Totally
Well,
that what exams made out.
yeah, let's get something.
Bye.
See you there, guys. Enjoy Chinese.
She's crashing out already. That was honestly. What,
that was
like
hilarious.
3 hours? No, 4 hours?
It's 9 o'clock. We
9 o'clock, we went at 5, 4 hours, it just went by like that. I don't think I've laughed so much in my entire life.
Oh no, they're really nice. I'm really looking forward to seeing them again.
You don't just meet people that you just click with straight away. Definitely going to see them again. And yeah, like I said, I'll put a link to all of their their Instagram and their YouTube down below. Honestly, hilarious couple.
Guys, we're actually trying to do a video here.
Do you want to sort out the matching sets?
For such a small...
Oh my god.
Watch our channel go from 136 to 0.
I think I'm going to say to 137.
Oh my god.
Catch him. It looks like you know what you're doing.
Very professional.
No, you just have to.
Behind the scenes, you're
Is it lens cap on? Is it lens cap on?
Where's the shit show?